Okay, here we are. One of the cars that people have asked to see a little bit more about is this 69 Corvette Stingray. It's an original big block 4-speed car. We picked it up in an estate sale, so we were basically kind of a barn find. I mean, I wouldn't go quite that far and exaggerate that it was a total barn find stored away for many years, but I believe it was 2016 was the last time the guy drove it. Our buddy Rick called Mark and I one morning. He's like, "Hey, my sister's at this estate sale, and there's a Corvette here. You guys need to go buy it." So we went to the bank. Rick let us know how much it was. It seemed cheap. So we're like, all right, we're on it. So we loaded up truck and trailer, bombed out to this property. We also ended up getting a ton of other stuff. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, let's just show you around this thing. I'll add in some pictures and stuff of where we got it. It's super clean. I mean, it's not perfect, but for what it is, it's pretty good. What our plan with it is probably just to flip it unless Mark falls in love with it. But we'll see. We just wanted to go through, make sure it runs good, make sure everything's workable on it. We're gonna do new carpet kit, maybe a couple little interior items, clean it up a little bit, and other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Let's take a peek. So it had some pretty crusty carpet in it. What happened was there was a couple of mice in there that had made a home. Luckily, they didn't get into the seats. So you'll see it's kind of dirty down there. We're gonna clean up the whole floor, put a coat of paint on it, get some carpet in it. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's an original big block 427 4-speed car. They had lost the key, so we put a new ignition switch in it. You can see that seat hasn't been cleaned up yet, but it's pretty good condition. Everything inside's pretty good. Car is pretty solid. So of course we're gonna go through and clean up all the suspension and stuff. The brakes rusty. I think we'll put new calipers, rotors, rubber lines where needed, and just get this thing dialed in. What we didn't know, which was kind of cool, we thought the back window fell out, but we took the T-tops off just to have a little bit more room cleaning it up, and we came out and it's like, oh, the window fell down, the back window. Well, Mark had unclipped clips that we thought were for the T-tops, but the back window comes out. That's so that you can be cranking your AC/DC and have that mullet just blowing in the wind. You know, she's not perfect, but overall very straight. Everything's in pretty good condition. Well, when we got it home and figured we might as well try to get it running, we were able to get the ignition switch in and mess with that, so at least we could crank it over and get power to stuff. We checked the fuel tank, has a new fuel tank in it, nice and clean inside. It was dry, so that was a good sign. We didn't have to deal with old gas or anything. Put some gas in it, did a few things, got her cranked up, and she ran. It ran pretty decent. Moment of truth, see if this thing does anything. We don't even know if any of the wiring's good on this.
Works.
It runs, sorta. It even runs, or I mean even drives. I think it had some issues with the brakes, but oh man, getting a little crazy.
that guy in there just rolling.
Phew! It's crazy how good it runs. While checking the oil is like, it's a little bit milky looking. So Mark's like, let's pull the valve covers. So we saw that. I think that's a pretty reputable shop. I think they're still in business. Looks like they did. I'm assuming they're the ones that built the engine. So when we pulled the valve covers off, we saw, oh, hey, it's got Merlin heads on it. Mark ordered up a bore camera and we're like, well, hopefully it's not the head gasket. So we were able to stick the bore camera down there and kind of route it up underneath, and you could see coolant leaking from the port there on the front. And it's like, awesome. Hopefully it's just the intake. So we pulled the intake off and saw that the heads have been ported a little bit, at least port matched. I don't know how deep into the ports they went, but port matched, gasket matched, and the intake as well. Let's go over here. Sorry, it's a little hard to roll with the camera while I'm pushing the wheelchair, but got a Performer RPM intake on it. You can see that it's been port matched in there. Sorry, it's not focusing great. Anyway, Edelbrock 750. That'll probably need to be cleaned and tweaked with a little bit. So I think I have a picture of it. I'll put a picture, but yeah, the gaskets looked super weird. I've never seen an issue like this. I'm assuming that over the years, I don't know if the intake bolts got loose or something, but yeah, the gasket looks super weird. Hopefully I have a picture to insert here. But so that's what we're in the process of doing now. We'll keep giving you some updates. Yeah, you can see there, the calipers are they're hammered. So we're gonna get new ones. No use messing with old garbage. You know, we wanna make it right. If we're gonna flip the car, it'd be good to make it good for the next person. We don't wanna hokey it together. I'd rather have it all done right. And that way, if Mark decides, well, I can't sell it, I gotta keep it, it'll be good for him too. It's been, distributor's been updated, and yeah, even kind of crazy, we got it running and turned on the headlights. They even worked. So vacuum lines are in good condition. I'll just throw in some pictures here and there and let you see more of this thing as we go. We'll try to do a little bit more video on the build of the car, get everything back together, cleaned up, make it super nice. You can see someone's replaced the caliper on this side, but I think we'll just do all of them. Maybe we'll get to some of the suspension bushings. Those don't, some of them don't look too bad, but yeah, it sounded pretty good. And Mark drove it up and down the street a little bit, but does not have brakes. They worked a little bit, enough to stop it, but not enough to actually get it out on the road. So stay tuned. We will have hopefully lots more of this car. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome project. I'm not a huge Corvette fan, but you know, up through this body style, I think looks pretty cool. So if you're into these C3 Corvettes, stick around, and hopefully we'll get some entertaining video as we work through getting this thing roadworthy. Maybe even get some good road trip videos on it or something. So stick around. Thank you.